Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Dude, I am getting destroyed in Slay the Spire. This is like the, Isaac will always be there for me sort of moment. Come back to Jesus, LS3WKNVJ. Terrible stats, but dude, I'm just happy to be playing a game that doesn't have cards in it. Mostly, to be honest with you, it's just the one character. It's just the Ironclad. And there's a bit of a difference, again, as always, in the backlog between the videos. So if you watch both series, like, you probably won't have noticed it too much yet. You might, like, if you're watching right now and you're like, oh yeah, it's been rough lately, you don't know that half of it. Those are the Golden Age episodes. Anyway, let's hope the old tired and truism comes true this time. Bad day, Slay the Spire. Good day, the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. I mean, truth be told... Ooh, I like this. I hate this. Truth be told, this is the second... Oh, Death's List. What? Death's List? There's no list! That's okay. Life goes on. I mean, Death's List is a passive. It just doesn't apply whenever you, trigger it. And we know that because we had it with the D7 recently, so I shouldn't have even expected it. I just thought I would do my due diligence and walk around and see if it worked, but... Oh! D4? I mean, I guess I'm happy? Why not? And then use it again. I don't know, man. What am I doing? Well... We got a Spirit Heart out of Razor Blade there. We D4'd. I don't even remember what our previous passive item was, so it couldn't have been too strong. I didn't even finish what I was saying earlier. This is the second Isaac run I've recorded today. The first one was a daily where we ranked like 23rd or something like that. So, like, we've already... Should have known, if I do the Isaac episode in the morning, and then it comes to pass that I do well, I should take it as a foul portent for the future of playing cards for the rest of the day. I should remember the tried and true law. An egg can only be good at one game at any given time. And you gotta admit, 20-something on a daily, that's good. That's good at Isaac. In fact, that's dang good in WWE context. So proportionally, of course, Slay the Spire had to be worse. Anyway, I'm going to stop belaboring the point with respect to Slay the Spire. We're going to recognize that although statistically, attributionally, this run is not in a good position, it's actually in a great spot. We'll just go back for this HP. With Metronome, for real. And our rate of fire is good. Not every boss is going to get as hard countered as Pin did here, but... Our rate of fire is amazing. All we need is a little bit, just a smidgen of damage. Like, I'm not even that worried about 2.6 damage. To be honest, that's kind of acceptable for early on. Of course, if it continues at that pace, things are going to be real bad real soon, but we can make it work for the time being here. Get him to loop around a little bit. Little Pac-Man strategy never hurt anybody on this encounter. And in the end, we gotta recognize that, we're coming pretty close to leaving 2018. It's crazy. I remember making a tweet. I've made dozens of them over the course of my existence, but I always remember this when I think back. And this is how long I've been doing YouTube stuff, I guess, which is a privilege to be able to say to begin with. But, I remember setting videos on, like, December 31st. Or it might have been earlier because I was going away for the holidays. But anyway, like, setting the scheduled uploader on YouTube. And I was like, man, I can't believe I'm setting videos for 2014. Like, 2014. Man, that feels like a number that's... still in the distant future. And now 2014 is like a year I have almost no memory of. Not because of, like, I mean, we're going to stick with what we got. But we might try to get some secret room action going out of this, at least. Not because of any kind of, like, danger happening that year or chemical dependency. Just because it's 5 years ago. You know, I have flashes of memory. I remember the interview coming out. I remember running a lot. That was cool. Should try to do that again in 2019. But still, you know, time flies. And what I mean by that is not just to highlight the passage of time, although it is a common recurring thing in these episodes, but rather to bring up that, you know, 2018 was a year with no major Isaac content release. I'm ignoring Four Souls, not deliberately, but just because, I mean specifically with respect to the game. You know, the computer game, to use the same terminology as my 53-year-old father. Dude, not bad. 2019 has what might be the last release of Isaac DLC, which is simultaneously exciting and also sad, you know? It's not, melancholic is a better word, because it's not sad. The game has had, like, such a long lifespan. It's like evergreen at this point, but I'm excited that next year is going to have some real content. And that's kind of what I'm seeing these videos as now. Stay sharp. Be ready. New enemies, new bosses, new items, new synergies, new environments, new paths. I don't know. They don't tell me anything. I'm a steel trap, and still, I'm a steel trap with no bait. And that's okay. Maybe it's better to go in silent. So, like lasagna. Reddit's favorite rap lyric. I can't deny it. It's a good one. My favorite rap lyric, personally, is all skeet, 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 mother trucker, all skeet, skeet, gosh darn. We're just trying, like right now, on this specific run, let's not worry too much about the distant future. We're worried about this specific run. What should we be worried about? Just for the love of God. Oh, we got a bomb, so it doesn't even matter as much anymore. But for the love of God, don't lose your deal with the devil chance. Because if you're able to pick up, and these enemies do get countered pretty hard. If you're able to pick up a single damage upgrade with 4 HP and 6 rate of fire, it's basically over. You win. Now, I've been saying you win a lot and then losing. It's like this new joke that I'm trying out. Oh, did you fall for it? Regular Jamie Kennedy experiment over here. Well, that sucks. I was testing something out. Something we've probably tested before. And I'm sorry to tell you, I don't think I can go back for metronome. I'm sorry to say. How did we go from 4 HP to no HP? It happened so quickly. Okay, so I want to keep Rotten Baby. What I was testing out is whether or not Sacrificial Dagger actually, and this is what I was looking for there, whether or not Sacrificial Dagger, and by Sacrificial Dagger I mean Sacrificial Altar, works with 0 familiars. My thinking being, hey, if we can go in here and take it for 2 HP, and then use it to give us another free deal with the devil, in hindsight, even if that had worked, which seems extremely low percentage, is it really a good deal to pay 2 HP for a blind deal with the devil? That's a valid point. It's probably not that useful. But it's still, it's throwing good HP after bad. If we were to, and we should not do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Ouch. What I was going to say is it's throwing good HP after bad to then use Sacrificial Altar to get rid of Rotten Baby. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to hold Sacrificial Altar and the thinking... I wonder what this is. 2 of clubs. Okay, we can work with that for now. The thinking is that we can use it later. Maybe we'll have Brother Bobby, Ghost Baby, other such, you know, kind of trash tier familiars that we don't really care so much about. And perhaps it won't take Rotten Baby, or when it does, we'll be past the point where Rotten Baby is really that useful. I don't know. By the way, when I said past the point, in my head I was like, yo, I could go for some tagliatelle right now. I'm on a real pasta kick. I'm carbo loading. Because I might run a marathon in like 2031. I don't have that kind of time right now. Recording a lot of Isaac episodes. It's the growing season. But, you know, in many, many years in the future, as a, you know, late 40s something, semi-retired playboy philanthropist, might run a marathon. And I'm going to say, thank God. Yo, let's go. We haven't had Shoop in what feels like forever. I'm going to say, thank God I ate a lot of pasta in my 30th year on planet Earth. Maybe I'll have learned to pronounce the word properly by then, too. It's a whole thing. Sticky bombs. These aching sticky bombs keep our... sorry, I've been on a block party kick lately. You know what's nice about knowing you can't sing? It reminds me of a quote from my favorite classic novel, Game of Thrones. Peter Dinklage, he's a little bit shorter than average, right? And they don't do like Peter Jackson stuff in the show to augment his height. So, you know, he's on the show and part of his character is that he's, you know, a little bit diminutive in stature, but not in personality or influence. And he looks to the camera like Michael Scott in The Office. Even in the book, it says, turns to camera. And he's talking to a bastard, Jon Snow. Google DeepMind, you can't take that one. I mean the medieval style of bastard. You know, an illegitimate child. Anyway, he says, wear your scars as armor, bastard, and then never use them against you. Also, a wizard is never late. He arrives precisely when he means to. That's what's great about knowing that you're a bad singer, is you can just sing, and then if people are like, hey, you're not a good singer, it's unpleasant to hear. I'm not trying to offend you, but simultaneously, could you stop? All you have to do is go, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I cannot be offended. Bombs are key. I mean, I can be offended. Just by watching a Ricky Gervais special. Not offended as a millennial, offended as a human being, but regardless. Yo, poppin'. It means you can sing to your heart's content. Without having to feel like, well, like you need to care for the well-being of those around you. I don't want to leave this floor, because I'd miss it, baby, and I don't want to miss a thing. We've managed to pull ourselves out of a fairly dangerous situation, but beyond that, we have golden bombs right now, and that's, to be honest with you, the meat of the enjoyment of this floor. I don't want to leave and go down to a floor where we don't have golden bombs. Because they're like the bulk of our damage by far. What is this room? Well, dude, for real, I don't know if we've had the 1-up. So I'm happy to get it. I'm also stunned at the inability of us to pick up a single guppy item out of like 50 red chests. And then we get a guppy item immediately as I start to complain. Now, the lesson in there is probably don't complain so much. The lesson I'm going to take is complain about how when you were complaining, they made it so you looked bad for complaining. I mean, come on, game. We're supposed to be working together here. So 9 lives is beautiful. You know, I'm going to take a chance. Because we have the guppy's head following us and the 1-up, I'm going to smelt him with Sacrificial Altar. If we lose Rotten Baby, so be it. And we did. And we got Gimpy. So at least we got something useful. And our luck is actually amazing right now. But I'm looking and I'm like, you know what? I think... I don't even know if it can take the 1-up or the cat head that's following us around. I think those are just graphical and not actually like instanced as familiars. Even though they follow us around as a vestige of an earlier time. As a vestige of an earlier time. Sorry, Canadian music. probably should not do this, but you know me. Basically, when I have Gimpy and I don't get any Spirit Hearts paid out, I get indignant, and that makes me more likely to play it more in the future. So we got a speed upgrade, which is okay. And, you know, there's a victory lying in this run where the way that we win is basically by just opening as many red chests as possible. And the deals with the devil, of course, are a big part of that as well. But, you know, there's a realistic guppy chance. And 9 lives gives us a lot of rope to try to get there. Taking a lot of pills, too. Why did you shoot in that direction? That's not me yelling at the game. It's me yelling at my brain. It's ye! You ever wonder what happened to those words? You know, when you read like a Shakespeare play or something like that, you almost need like a... Even though it's in the relatively recent past, you need like a companion piece that teaches you, you know, what the heck Shakespeare's talking about. You know, what happened to words like ye and thine, betwixt, methinks, etc., etc. If you read like a book, I mean, I'll give you an example. I read, I mean, I've been reading a lot lately. You know, The Stranger came out in like 1942 or something like that. Aldous Huxley's Brave New World came out in the 20s. The Old Man and the Sea came out in like either the 40s or the 50s, I think. You don't need any kind of translation for those. You know, those books are... I mean, Brave New World is almost 100 years old. Still extremely readable. You go back, and I read Notes from Underground by Dostoevsky this week. That book was written in like the 1860s, I think. I mean, I'm a nerd, but I'm not enough of a nerd to have an encyclopedic knowledge of when the book I'm currently reading came out. But anyway, regardless, even that book is like highly readable. But if you go back to the 1600s, you know, language has changed a lot over time. Well, here's a real question for you. You know, if you give Shakespeare a copy of Notes from Underground, is he going to know what the heck's going on? Is it like just, there's a 200-year window for language or something? Like in 2200, all books are just going to be like, yeah, yeet. A delightful bone mow from the Soldier Boy Kindle e-reader. Yeah, yeet. This run is starting to run into trouble. Please? It's the loss of Rodden, baby, for certain. It probably would have been wise to not use Sacrificial Altar. But I have a real problem in Isaac, and that problem basically boils down to, if you give me an item and go, don't use it, I'm going to be like, you're right, don't use it. You have to be stupid to use it. And then, like, at the first available opportunity, I'm going to trick myself. I'm very good at self-delusion, I think. And I can, you know, I'll be like, well, obviously, like, it's bad to use Sacrificial Altar here. Like, you'd have to be some kind of moron to actually do it. But simultaneously, like, what if I did it and it worked for me? Ergo, let's use it immediately. And then I lose Rodden Baby, and I'm like, oh, who could have... I never could have seen it coming. Sorry, Ruka, I didn't mean to wake you up there. But we are... I mean, I got a level with you. When you're 18 minutes into the run, and you're on the caves, too, something's got to be done. Why am I sticking with the coupon? Well, I thought there was a realistic chance maybe we could get another play out of the coupon. This is probably our secret room. Please come here. Thank you. That was extremely good placement. Yo, we are going to get another play out of the coupon. We won't, but we may have also gotten enough money to buy an item as well. We still could via that, I guess. Okay, Hive Mind is great. You know what would go really nice with Hive Mind? Don't say it. Don't you say it. It's Rotten Baby. Don't say that name! Oh, hello. Okay, I mean, it's probably not the live or die moment for the rest of the run, but definitely this could accelerate us in a big way. Thank God we got the finger, you know, for even like a modest damage improvement. We hit contract from below. At some point, we gotta say, like, you know, I love that we're getting good items, but we need items that pay out immediately. Not getting the deal with the devil was the real slap in the face there. And now I'm like, maybe there's a line. You know, if you go to that shop, you buy the playing card instead. And it's not even like, hey, well, oh no, you know, not a big deal. We don't get a deal with the devil because we'll just get one on the next floor. Yeah, I mean, that's true if we're able to get one on the next floor. But because of our very meager damage, that's far from a guarantee. You know, even this room against easy enemies kind of threw me for a loop. So you never want to find yourself in this situation, but the situation I'm in right now is don't use Shoop de Whoop. You might need it next room. We know we're not going to need it on this guy. It's just this, you know, a room full of 3 enemies, we can dodge them all day. Please do not at me. I am removing your ability to at for the rest of the day. The only thing that would have made that better is if they dropped a Spirit Heart for me. They're like, hey, I heard you need this. Yeah, okay. Well, certainly as of right now we have a pricklier situation for getting ourselves staved off from oblivion yet again. And I'm not talking about the Elder Scrolls for once. Please, NL, stop talking about the Elder Scrolls. We get it, you're a huge fan of Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim. Daggerfall, I think, is the first one. No, you know, I'm obviously being facetious. I'll tell you straight up, and this is not gonna, it's not gonna make me a lot of fans. But I think Morrowind is the, not Morrowind, sorry. I think Skyrim was the least enjoyable Subscriber Sunday game I've played. That is not, it doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's like the most forgettable of all of the Subscriber Sunday games I've played on Twitch. If you like the games, that's cool. Obviously, like many, many, many millions of people out there do. They're very popular. You can play it on your fridge. I think it's just not really my scene. Hold on, did we get a Gimpy payout back here? We did indeed. Just not really my scene. You know, peg me as one of those guys in 2019 who's calling for the short game revolution. I've started to see it as a response to Red Dead Redemption 2, which I've not played yet. But people are going, you know... I'm seeing people my age, and even a little younger now, being rebellious towards this idea that, like, all games should have infinite content. And I've been beating this drum. I'm not alone in it, obviously. I'm not the first person to come up with it, but I've been beating this drum that, like, dude, give me more short games and less 80-hour games. Because I end up in these situations where, like, you know, I beat these games, and people are like, well, you didn't really beat it, because there's 500 hours of DLC. And I'm like, but I'm satisfied with the story and its conclusion. And people are like, well, sorry, you don't get the street cred for beating The Witcher 3 until you beat Blood and Wine as well. No! The hand was closed. You can't do that. Now, I can interface with games on my own terms. Thank you for 2 golden bobs. I can interface with games on my own terms, I should say. There's just something nice about a game that's like, to be honest with you, that's one of the reasons I played through The Quiet Man. Because I was like, first off, The Quiet Man is bad, but hey, at least it respects my time. It wraps up that convoluted story in just a few hours, which, to be honest with you, It probably drags it out about 90 minutes longer than it would ever have to in the first place. This is a terrible situation, dude. But, and then, you know, there's always a place for, and I guess it's the ultimate irony, is I'm like, more short games, and then I'm like, well, what did I play in 2018? 500 hours of Slay the Spire. But I stand by it. You know, when I see a new game that gets announced, there are exceptions, like the Outer Worlds, the Obsidian game. And actually, this is part of what kickstarted this conversation. Is, you know, they gave an interview, and they're like, it'll probably be, like, about the same length as New Vegas. And I was like, thank God. That's, like, the perfect length for a video game. In my mind. Or a perfect length for that kind of video game, I guess I mean to say. But I did see some people that were like, it better be, like, an 80-hour robust experience. And I'm like, dude, I envy that you enjoy that. Because really smart idea there. Immersing yourself into a single game for that length of time is just something that I'm not that interested in anymore, to be honest. I still love video games, but I love, like, mechanics. And I love playing, if you give me the choice between playing, like, one 40-hour game or being able to finish 10 4-hour games, at this point in my life, I want to be able to talk about playing 10 4-hour games. Mind you, 10 4-hour games realistically is probably like 3 or 4 times more expensive than your average 80-hour game. And just spare me, because I know that, well, if you wait for a Steam sale, I bought, you know, RimWorld for $15 and I've played it for $2,000. Yeah, but I'm talking about, like, you know, your average experiences. I know you got TF2 for free and you played 1,500 hours. That's great. There's nothing wrong with it. But I have a great respect for these games. The older I've gotten, and it's not really as I've gotten older, it's more like as my free time and leisure time have gotten more truncated. Like, whenever I play a game and I get a little bit bored, and then I realize that there's like another 25 hours of it left, I'm sunk. That's it. There's no, like, when I was younger, I would force myself to suffer. And I would be like, yeah, it's boring to grind, but I want the feather in my cap of having beaten Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts. Now that I'm older, I'm like, dude, maybe I'm just done with this game 12 hours in, and I'll never know what happens in this, you know, this well-crafted story that 80 writers worked on for 4 years, because of the fact that there's one too many missions where it's like, hey, bring a bag of beans to this guy. I'm never going to experience it. Now, you know, I'm not trying to take the video games away. You can, I mean, there's plenty of games that, you know, you can get that 80-hour experience out of. I'm glad they exist. They're just not all for me. You gotta trick me into playing 80 hours of a game. That's the ticket. You gotta be like, hey, check out this card game. It's 40 minutes long. And then, like, a year later, I'm like, holy crap. I've played too much of this. You gotta trick me. If at the start you go, there's 1,400 worlds in the Dominion of Elgar, I'm like, oh, God. Do we really have to go to all 1,400 worlds in the Dominion of Elgar? Could it just take place on one of Elgar's moons, perhaps? So we're one guppy item away. I'm so happy. So happy that I'm going to take Chaos and lower our chances of getting it on this floor to raise our chances of getting it later in the game, hopefully. Blow it up. Maybe you'll get lucky. Well, we did get lucky. Lucky Rock, that is. Twitch Prime's in the top right, by the way. Gup. I could be persuaded to take Crystal Ball. You know? Well, let's see. Fair to say, I'm pretty unhappy with where we're at. one guppy item goes an unbelievably long way towards fixing that, because we would be guppy, and also our flies are double power. So as of right now, this is just your average, you know, 28-minute long run to get to Mom's Foot. Statistically pretty terrible. But Mom fight going pretty okay so far. Stop. We got the deal, of course. We'll take the Polaroid. Well, you know, I think you go for broke. I'm sorry, Shoop de Whoop. My, Blue Baby's only friend, not best friend, only friend, important distinction here, is actually one of the ways I see myself getting out of this jam, because at least it does damage that's not dependent on our own damage stat. One makes you larger, range upgrade, speed down. Well, hold one makes you larger, I guess. So this is a free floor. As long as you don't walk into, you know, some random explosions, which is possible. That hurts because that might have been a guppy item. It also might have been the tower, but it might have been a guppy item if we didn't take chaos. But Nun's Habit could be good. It's kind of running out of time to be good, but take the quarter, because you never know. If we beat the next 2 floors in 39 seconds, we got a decent shot at dying miserably to the Hush 10 times. Not really something that's on my bucket list, but... So I'm really... I mean, we've been holding the left hand for 7 floors? Almost since the start of the game. Maybe 5 floors. We've gotten a lot of red chests. Where the heck are my deal with the devil teleportations? Where the heck is my guppy item? I guess we can't complain about guppy because of the, you know, the chaos pickup means guppy could show up anywhere, but is less likely to show up in the weighted areas where normally you'd hold out some hope for it. Still, even if we leave this floor with nothing having improved except, you know, a few extra spirit hearts. Sure, dude, scatter bombs. We're piecing together like a ragtag bunch. This is like it's Hogan's Heroes. It's the Dirty Dozen. We will use anything and everything to try to pull a win out of this one. All I ask is that if you're gonna give me an item, make it offensive. What? Don't, you know, if you don't want to give me any good items, that's okay. But don't tease me. Don't be like, hey, here's an item. And then it's like, you know, even the wafer right now is not what I want. Okay, it's a tiers upgrade. I don't think it's particularly good. But it's a start, maybe? I don't know. And no deal with the devil means we got a chance at, or a pretty decent chance at one on this floor. Yo, you know, it's a very simple transactional deal with the devil. Do you think you can bet on infamy saving you from getting hit 3 times? I'm gonna say 3 times seems relatively modest. We're gonna be in a position to take damage a lot, probably. Just being realistic. Oh, let's go. And it, I mean, basically is paid for already. I want more luck upgrades to make Gimpy better. I don't know, like, is that our win condition now? Perhaps it is. What win condition is that? Oh, it's very simple. Just get infinity spirit hearts out of Gimpy and other, you know, means like these red chests. And you never improve your strength at all. Although we did just, you know, almost double our rate of fire. You know, hold up. I'm trying to be indignant here. Okay, get your logic out of here. You know, an unexpected item that would win us this run right now is Pyro. No blame to Infamy on that one. Like with scatter bombs, butt bombs, and a reasonable ability to get the heck out of town when we place them. I think that you know, it can't be overstated how useful these could be. We'd still like, particularly like a number 2 synergy or toxic bombs, whatever the heck they're actually called. This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them. .jpeg. Okay, well, I'd really, really like to see a deal with the devil here. Please, Professor, isn't there something I could do to raise my deal with the devil chances? NL. Now, I've heard of some provocative stuff in these episodes. I forgot we had sticky bombs. Yo, be careful. Okay, we've made it. We got the deal with the devil. What is wrong with my brain? I was like, man, we could get anything out of this deal with the devil that we've already seen 2 times. Sure hope it's got something good like infamy in it. You'll have to excuse me. 34 minutes is a long time for a man to focus. Yo, it's the vaunted damage upgrade we've waited for our whole lives. Steven. Now, 2 red chests is the minimum I'm willing to open in these sorts of situations. I don't want to fight bosses for 1 red chest. I mean, put yourself in my shoes. We get 2 red chests every time we get 1 red chest on other rooms. There's no way I'm gonna, you know, be content. We're just trying to create as many spiders as we can here. There's no way I'm gonna be content getting a single red chest. 2, I think, is fine. So what are we doing with Mr. Meeseeks? Well, I think we have to use it as a boss herder. It's the lyrical gangster. Too late to be a dominator. Still use it like that. Once every 6 rooms. Once every 6 rooms when there's a boss. Once every 6 rooms. It's actually once every 4 rooms, but... If you remember that song, man, were you really there? I mean, I was like 8 when that song came. I was probably younger than 8. I'm thinking, like, you know, we gotta be pretty close in DPS between my tiers and Blue Baby's only friend. And as much as it might be bothersome to watch me, like, Ludovico technique it, the benefit of using Blue Baby's only friend is we don't ever have to be on line of sight with the enemies, which I think is extremely advantageous, especially when these enemies, whenever they see me, chase after me and explode. No, what have I done? My sweetest friend. Oh, he's so fast now. Every run I love goes away in the end. So obviously I was hoping we wouldn't get HP there, but that's not that bad. I'm never going to complain about, you know, him offering me the wrong statistical improvement very cheaply. Well, oh, infamy. Thank you. Preserved my bone heart. That might be essential for our survival. Okay, you know what we have to do is use our rate of fire. use our damage for a couple of rooms. And just see, when we use our damage, are we happier? You know what? I'm going to tell you immediately. The answer is no. It's not really fair because I loosen these guys up. But maybe work on the phrasing for that one a little bit in post-production. I soften these guys up when earlier they used to be really, really hard. And they spit up all their white goo. And L. This is a family-friendly... I didn't say anything. All of those words are PG-13. The algorithm hasn't gotten that advanced yet. I'm sorry. Well, here's how we win. Going back and forth, like a dismemberment plan song. What we do is we beat Isaac. I hope Mr. Meeseeks continues to work. I don't know, man. I think we're better off just pointing the finger over there. Painful. But on the next floor, first off, drop the left hand without a doubt. I don't think you have better guppy chances, but this could hurt as well. I deserve to get hit there. I think, if anything, it actually raises your guppy chances in a weird way, because you're likely to get, well, you're guaranteed to get an item from every chest, instead of possibly getting, you know, spirit hearts or troll bombs or et ceteras or et ceteras. But we're not really looking for guppy specifically, although that would be nice. What we're looking for is just the maximum number of chests that is conceivable. We have enough keys to feel happy about it. We have enough luck to expect it. And dude, I don't know. This is it's a very dangerous situation. Curse of the Blind does not help. Pyro. Well, we did ask for it. Pandora's box gives us a single penny. That's spun, so that's very helpful. And the beam. You know, I mean, it's hard to choose between Mr. Me and the bean here, but I'll take the one that allows us to do something every room, I guess. That wasn't sarcastic. It is a tough choice. So I'm hoping, you know, with spun, start to feel a little bit better about our damage. Satanic Bible. Much better spacebar item. Missing page 2. It's a heart. That should be the item description on missing page 2. Don't go to the wiki, it's just a demon heart. And the picture should be debated. The icon. I'm not talking about the Hitman mission. Yo, okay. Well, we have gotten a lot better. Just Spun and Pyro are big enough to be, like, pretty happy. Relic is also super helpful. Synth Oil is much better. And all the items we've been waiting for have showed up for us. Just in time. Don't stand there, you fool. Pop him. If only we popped him slightly earlier. By the way, Nuns Habit, helping us out. Remember when we got it earlier and thought it was useless? Times have changed. Yeah, I think we're gonna pretty easily win, actually. I think that there will be, you know, a little bit of strife. Yeah, 3 bombs to blow up 2 fires. Seems like I'm in prime game shape right now. I think there'll be a little bit of strife, but I don't think that indicates that, you know, like from a mathematical perspective, I think we're doing real well. And that's what you want. You stick all the bombs to them, you get these spiders to help you out next room. Linger Bean and Black Candle. It's a dirty trick. Spiders, please. Thank you. Easy. 4 spiders. Excuse me. It's 5 spiders. Get it right. It's called arithmetic, sweetheart. Look it up. Reading all those books. Maybe you should read something by Archimedes, nerd. Joke's on you, buddy. I don't read ancient Greek. Immaculate Conception is too little too late. Bomb bag is also worth nothing, but it's like a nice gesture. It's like a holiday card, you know? There's no resale value. You can't take it to his master's voice and get Talking Heads' 1982 album Remain in Light, but simultaneously, the game's like, hey, I heard you like bombs. Your mom told me you like bombs, so I went to the store and said, what kind of bomb-related items you got? They kicked me out, put me on the FBI watch list, and here I am with this passive item. You know, you tried, Uncle Terry. Took me, like, actually a second of human brain processing power to be like, hey, name an uncle that isn't an uncle you have. And even now, I'm scanning, and I'm like, Terry? Any of my grandma's brother twice removed? Who knows? We won. Not a good run, but we won. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya!